Hello everyone, what is up, and welcome to probably the toughest video that I will make, and probably one that you can draw a lot of opinions on. I'm going to be ranking every single EFL, Premier League, EFL Championship, League 1 and League 2 clubs based off their season so far, whether they're doing incredible, whether they're doing awful. In my opinion, everybody, I think they should be aiming higher or lower. This could be quite a long one. I hope you guys do enjoy. If any guys new around here, please remember to drop a like, subscribe. That would mean the world. We do do a lot of videos on the channels, do Championship, League 1, League 2, Premier League, as well as watch-alongs, FIFA streams, all sorts. So yeah, it'd be amazing when you guys can drop that like button and subscribe. So we're going to kick it off with the first one. Swindon Town, a club which, like I said, has gone through quite a few bad ownerships, but sitting just outside the playoff places in League 2. I think they're having a pretty good season. I think they're having a good season. I think they could sneak into that playoff place. That would be very good. Next one's Preston North End. I mean, I didn't really have much hope for them for their first season, to be honest with you. Like I said, well, not for their first, because I can't remember they had as manager. I think it was Alex Neil's assistant. Now they got Ryan Lowe, which is a pretty good appointment. I think will take them further, but we're basing them off this season. I think a pretty meh season for a club which was challenging for the playoffs a few seasons ago. Accrington Stanley, another club which is doing how you would expect Accrington would do, like I said, in terms of, like I said, financial budget, I think it's a decent season, I guess. AFC Bournemouth, I think Bournemouth have actually underwhelmed me a little. Like I said, I don't think they've destroyed the league as much as they could. Obviously, they're very tight at the moment in fight. There's literally 2 games left of the season as I'm recording this. I'm not sure when this is going to go up, but I think we've got to base them off, like I said, what they're doing. I thought they'd run away with the league with Fulham, but it's been kind of, like I said, I think they've underwhelmed me a little bit, Bournemouth, so I want to put them in good. AFC Wimbledon look set to be relegated in real life. I think they need to win. I think they need 4 points out of the next 2 games to be able to stay up. So I think we've got to go with a awful season they're having. So I really like Wimbledon. They're a good club, good fan base. I think they're doing quite well. Arsenal, the club that look very likely to get top 4 over Arsenal. Arsenal, the club which looking most likely to get top 4 over Spurs and Man United. I'm going to put them in very good. I think they've had a very good season, bringing through a lot of good youngsters, not spending absolute millions, but being very wise and casual in terms of their spending. But I feel like if they would have maybe signed a striker and maybe secure top 4 already, I'd probably put them incredible. But I think they've had a very good season. Birmingham City, I think I'm going to go with awful. I think we've had a pretty awful season. I thought this season would be a lot more stable than it is, to be honest with you. Like I said, we've signed quite a few good players, and like I said, injuries haven't helped us, and financial backing hasn't helped us either. So I'm going to put us in awful, because I think we have had a bad season. Blackpool have had a pretty decent season, I would say. I think they've had a good season. They currently sit mid-table in the Championship. Picked up a big win against Barnsley last night, 2-0 victory. Yeah, big win for them guys, and I think Blackpool have a really good fan base with a good manager in Neil Critchley. Bolton Wanderers, club which I think have done decent. Like I said, I'm not going to... No, actually not. To adapt from League 2 to League 1 and kind of be close-ish to them playoff spots, like I said, and kind of drift off a little bit. I think they've done quite well. Brentford, I think Brentford have surprised me a lot. I think most people predicting them to be, like I said, towards the bottom of the league, or at least in that relegation pack. People with them to be 20th, 19th. They're like mid-table-ish. They're doing really well, to be honest with you, and they play some good football. Brighton, another club I think has done good. They started off really well, Brighton. Like I said, they were in the top 4 for majority of the first half of the season. Then they have fallen off, to be honest with you, of recent. Like I said, defensively unhelped, and neither has injuries helped with Brighton. But I do think they have a lot of potential under Graham Potter. Next one's Bristol City. I'm going to go with meh again, to be honest. I did expect them to be... They should be doing a lot better. A club which, like I said, were in and around them playoff positions, and now look to be, like I said, just about... what's the word? Like I said... stagnated a little bit down to them like 18th, 19th place position, which I feel like they should be a lot higher up there. They're a good young club and a club with a lot of potential, in my opinion. Next one's Leicester Rovers. Decent season. Look for promotion back to League 1. Yeah, good club, good team. Burnley, this is a tough one for Burnley, actually, because Burnley, are, as at the moment, they are staying up, but whether they will or not, I don't know. I'm gonna put them in okay. I feel like they're probably in between okay and meh, or in between meh and awful. I think they've been okay, to be honest with you. Like I said, not been good enough though, but still kind of okay. But another club to run about 16th, 15th in League One. I expect them to do a lot better, to be honest with you. They'll get in the okay section as well. Cambridge, a lot of people predict them to go straight back down, and they're doing quite well, Cambridge. Picked up some big wins this season and win the Wigan as well. I remember that 2-1 victory. Went on a good FA Cup run, I believe, as well, beating Newcastle. Was that in the Carabao Cup? I can't remember. But yeah, they're a good club, Cambridge. I think they've done really well to adapt to League One life. Next one's Cardiff. I think a pretty meh season. Like I said, they definitely have been better under Steve Morrison. I done a watch long on them last night, but they lost 2-0 to Middlesbrough. Pretty lacklustre, but then again, they didn't have anything to play for, to be honest with you, and Borough did. So they put them in meh. Kyle will look pretty much set, for relegation, but new managers came in. I believe his name's Simpson, former England under-17s manager and Bristol City's caretaker manager. I think his name's Paul Simpson. He's done well. He's done really well, and I think to take them, I think they've had one of the best runs in the second half of the season in League Two. They've done brilliant, to be honest with you. Charlton Athletic, you know what? I'm gonna say awful. I expected Charlton to be in the top 6 or in the top 2 at the very least, and they've been nowhere near that. I think they're 14th at the moment. I do like their manager Jackson, but there is questions over him at the moment. Nigel Atkins had a very poor start to the season, and it's surprising to see how poor he did, to be honest with you. Next one's Chelsea. I don't know. I think they've had. I'm gonna say, you know what? For Chelsea standards, they had an okay season. I'm not saying Cambridge, Carlisle and all these are better than Chelsea, what's in they've had, but they've had a pretty okay season. Knocked out the Champions League, the quarterfinals, reached an FA Cup final, top 3 in the Premier League by the look of it. It's okay. But then again, you can't. But then again, in their defence, they have. You know what? I'm actually going to put them in decent because in their defence, they've had a lot of financial and ownership problems at the moment. I guess that hasn't helped. Colchester's absolutely kicked off the second half of the season. Like I said, the first half they were absolutely atrocious. Second half they really have picked it up. So I'm going to put them in decent because they have really picked up Colchester. Next one is Coventry. I think they've been doing really well. Coventry pulled out some surprise results this season. Big win. The Fulham 4-1. Beat Fulham again 2-1 away from home. I've watched them quite a few times this season. Coventry, love watching them. And yeah, I feel like I said, they just need that few additions. And I think they are ready for a playoff team. Next one's Crawley. I guess okay. Like I said, they've pretty much finished where you would expect them to, roughly round about finishing them areas. Crexander relegated. I've got to put them in the just no. They've relegated with 25 points. A club which finished roughly mid-table last season. For their second season, they do usually call it second season syndrome, and they are relegated, which is a shame. Like I said, they do have some really good, and in all fairness, it didn't help almost 10 players leaving. Then G went to Cardiff, Wintle went to Cardiff. Like I said, they lost quite a lot of good players, to be honest with you, Crew, which I don't think helped at all. But they do have some good young players that are coming through. Crystal Palace, you know what? Good. They've had a good season. Yeah. Next one is Derby County. Now, this is a tough one because Derby County, in my opinion... Where are they? Okay, Derby County. Sorry if you guys can't see it that well. Derby County, in my opinion, have had a good season. But they haven't... They've played good. They've done well in terms of fixtures. They would stay up right now if it wasn't for their point deductions. But considering they got relegated, I've got to put them in just no. But it's kind of hard to put them because, like I said, it's not them who they are down there. It's off-field issues and stuff like that. I think I've got to put them in the bottom 3 tiers. And I'm going to put them in meh because they have had a season which we probably all expected, to be relegated, but they've still done quite well. Bradford, I think another club which I think have just had an awful season last year. I expect they should have bounced straight back up, like I said. They had an awful first half of the season. Mark Hughes has came in, which has done brilliant, Mark Hughes, and I think he's definitely the man to take them forward, and I really hope to see them back climbing up the table in real life. Stevenage, pretty meh season to last year. Stayed up. Points to good gaffer in Steve Evans, the former Gillingham boss. Brilliant manager. Next one is Everton Just Know. Oh my days. I could do a 20-minute video here on sitting on Everton, you know, like talking about Everton. They've just been dreadful, haven't they, people? Honestly, they've been absolutely atrocious. I guess the only bright shining light for Everton this season is Anthony Gordon. And yeah, some of the young players that have came through, that is the only bright shining light for Everton. Exeter, I think Exeter have had an incredible season. I think they really have, honestly. I think a club which just came up through the League One. League Two now, promoted to League One. Club which, like I said, in the area of Devonshire, don't really have that much big club, and now they're back in League One, and hopefully they can do well. They've got some brilliant players in their side, Josh Key, Matt J, and excited to see how Exeter are going to do in League One next season. Fleetwood, tough to rank Fleetwood, to be honest with you, because like I said, they've had a lot of other issues, you know, either with injuries, and like I said, which I don't think has helped with them. I think they've had a pretty bad season to ask you, but I'm going to put them in meh because of their injury crisis I know they've had, and they've been forced to bring in like a lot of emergency loan players. So yeah. Fulham, I think Fulham have had this is a difficult one because they've had a good season, Fulham, but I think I've got to go with an incredible season. Like I said, I think they're the club in the Championship that you're coming up against. They've almost scored 100 goals overall in all their championship, in the entire championship, you know, like I said, which is mental, honestly. Like, they're one of the best sides to go up against, despite the loss against Forest. They're set to win the league as well, so a great achievement for them. Hartlepool, I think they had a pretty decent season, Hartlepool. Huddersfield, you know what? Huddersfield, I'm going to put in, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. A club which, I was speaking to many Huddersfield fans, almost went into administration and now competing for the top two in the Championship. It really is surprising to ask you to be able to see, you know, how well they've done, honestly, Huddersfield, and brought in some brilliant players, spent pretty much next to no money, and a great manager. He has done incredible. Hull City, okay. I guess the prize showing light for Huddersfield this season was new ownership. You know, a new owner's come in, can promise to bring in new money, and a manager which is alright, loved by the Turkish fans and the Georgia fan base, which have brought in a lot of new blood in some of the fan base from to Hull. Ipswich Town, start of the season they were awful. Like I said, they weren't doing that good. Like I said, they're floating around mid-table. And now, like I said, if they just appoint McKenna towards, like I said, the second month season, I think I'd have put them in very good. But I've got to put them in good. I think they've done well to turn it around, but still haven't gotten them playoff position. The club at Ipswich should be in the Championship. Leeds United, I think they had a pretty meh season. Like I said, I think we all expected them to be a little bit better. Putting Jesse March, though, doing a lot better in real life. Drew to Crystal Palace, 0-0 the other night. Great performance from them. And yeah, I think they're a big club. And I'm excited to see how they're going to do next season in the Premier League. Well, if they stay up, I think they will. I think it is between Burnley and Everton. Leicester City, I think Leicester City have had a poor season. I think they really have. Like I said, I think a club which they started off really poor first half of the season. A few positive lights. Drewsbury Hall, they still are in the Conference League, like I said, looking to try and get in, trying to win a trophy. Brilliant squad, brilliant manager. I just don't think I expect them to be round about competing for the top 40 after they like sitting 10th, 11th. Not really where we expect them to be. Leyton Orient, okay, I guess. There's some clubs which I'm going to rank because I don't know everything, to be honest. Asking Leyton Orient, I'm not even too sure. I think they're, like I said, roughly about 10th or 11th, Leyton Orient. Lincoln, a club which were in the playoffs last season, so now to be flirting around the relegation zone. I think they've had a pretty bad season, so I want to put them in awful. Liverpool is going to go into incredible. No, I don't believe it because they are on for the quadruple. There's no doubt about it. Like I said, they've done really well. Like I said, they were a little bit shaky at one point through injuries. Salah's been on fine form. Not recent though in terms of form. Started the season very well. The top assister and the top goal scorer in the Premier League. I really don't believe that they might do the quadruples. I mean, that's why I'm putting them in. I don't believe. Already won the Carabao Cup. Probably going to win the FA Cup. Might win the Champions League. Might win the Premier. Luton Town, I'm going to put another one in. I don't believe it. I really don't believe where Luton are as a football club at the moment. Honestly, I really don't. Like I said, they're like 4th in the league. Actually, I think they're 5th, but a club which, like I said, a bit like Huddersfield, spent next to no money. A manager which loves the club, is built for the club. Brilliant fan base, passionate fan base. And it is mad to see how Luton are doing. It really is. Manchester City, you know what? Oh no. I think a very good season. I wouldn't put them incredible, but I think a very good season for Man City, to be honest with you. Obviously we knocked out the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, relatively early on. You'd think them to win the final, but they are potentially heading to the Champions League final. Right, Manchester United. I mean, they're okay. I'm not going to lie, for Man United standards, just no. Like, a club, you know what? Just no. It's sickening to see them in 7th. It really is. Like I said, it's still not dreadful. Like I said, obviously nowhere near relegation or anything like that compared to when these two clubs are, or one of them already renegating Crew. But you expect Man United to be so much better and signing Varane, Sancho. But with the appointment of Erik ten Hag, hopefully he can bring. Man United don't even need really good players. They need players that are hungry and want to fight for the shirts. I mean, that's all Man United fans want. They're seeing too many half-assed players. Right, Mansfield Town have done absolutely brilliant under Nigel Clough. Like I said, a club which are now back in the automatics, I believe. Absolutely incredible for them to now be competing for League One again. Middlesbrough, okay. Like I said, a club which, like I said, 2 points currently off the playoffs. Pretty much how I expect them to be, to be honest. You done meh with Neil Warnock. Done alright with Chris Wilder. Not recently, but overall have done alright. Millwall, I think Millwall have been underdogs to Arsenal. They've definitely surprised me a lot this season. Only 3 points off the playoffs with 2 games left. Will they get into the playoffs? Depends on the form of Sheffield United and teams like Borough and Blackburn. Still very tight in the Championship. MK Dons have an incredible season. I think a club which, like I said, have done very well. Like I said, it's a new upcoming club, brilliant new stadium, brilliant transfer as well. Scott Twine, what a player he's been, a young English manager, which in my opinion will probably be a Premier League manager soon. Liam Manning, honestly, a brilliant manager, and really I'm happy to see how he's done to MK Dons. He has a bright future ahead of him. Morecambe. Just Newcastle, right, Newcastle towards the start of the season, awful. Now, very good. They've done brilliant under Eddie Howe. I think the takeover's done more than just add money into the club. I think it's given the fan base a lift. I feel like it's definitely, like I said, bumped them up, give them a little bit of a lift, and it's exciting to see where they can potentially be next season. Brought in some brilliant players in Bruno, and I think they've done really well. I think they've done very good. Right, okay, Northampton, good. Yeah, Norwich, I'm going to put meh, because I'm not going to put them in just no, because we're not shocked that they're down there. Awful, they haven't done awful, meh, yeah, they've been meh. Like I said, no, I don't know, I'm going to put them down in awful, actually. Like I said, we kind of all expected Norwich to be pretty much relegated. Nottingham Forest, this is a tough one. This is a tough one for Nottingham Forest. I'm going to put him very good. I don't think they're getting credit for the single fact is, I kind of expected them, they've got good players, like I said. I feel like, actually, I don't know, this is a tough one. They're in between incredible and very good. I'm going to put them in very good for the sole fact they've got really good players, and Chris Hughton should have done a lot better, but they appointed Cooper, and thank God they did appoint Cooper, honestly, for Nottingham Forest fans' sake, because they've been brilliant. Honestly, I've watched them so many times this season. One of my favourite sides to watch, along with the likes of Fulham, MK Dons, quite an entertaining team to watch, Arsenal, Liverpool. They're a brilliant team to watch. Peterborough, I think they've had a pretty bad, I think they're a pretty meh season, to be honest, after getting relegated back to League One. Like I said, no, I got to put them in awful. Actually, they got relegated, didn't they? I think they, like I said, they gave it a good go towards the end, which is a little bit too late. Blackburn Rovers, start of the season, there. Now, no. I don't know, actually. No. That's where they're going to be put. What happened to them? What the hell has happened to Blackburn? They were competing for the top two. They were going to take Fulham at one point, and now, like I said, just outside the playoffs, you know, like by 3 points. I feel like I've got to give them the underdogs, though, actually. Rochdale. Meh. Oxford, it's a shame for them. They were just outside the playoffs, unfortunately, too little bit, but I think an underwhelming season for Oxford. I should have put underwhelming on here. I think it's been a decent season, but they've got so many good players. Cameron Brannigan being looked at by many championship clubs. Henry is unfortunately injured quite a lot from James Henry, the right winger. You know, like I said, they're a good club. Moore's done quite well this season as well, the centre back. Yeah. Plymouth had a very good season. A very good season for Plymouth. Actually, yeah, they've had a very good season, Plymouth. Like I said, a club which is now competing for the top two in League One. I don't think they can get there now, actually. So, but like I said, they are, like, I think they're like fourth at the moment, doing pretty well. Portsmouth, they've done bad, but they have turned it around a little. So I'm going to give them a good season. Like I said, they beat Wigan the other night from 2-0 down to win 3-2. Great victory there for Portsmouth. I think Danny Cowley's definitely the man to take pumping forward. QPR, another club doing so well. Like, so incredible I would have put them in, but now, decent. No, they've had a good season, to be honest. Like I say, finishing just outside the playoffs. Unfortunately, I feel like it is still mathematically possible, but they need to win all their games, all the playoff teams to lose, and for them to win by a certain goal deficit. So, still mathematically possible, but very unlikely. Scunthorpe, just no. Like I gotta admit, I cannot believe that Scunthorpe now been relegated to the National League. Like I said, I think they've really have surprised me, to be honest with you, Scunthorpe. You know, like I said, I expect them to be kind of back up there. I think Keith Hill, though, will sort them out. And I think they will be back up in League 2 next season. For a club which were in the League 1 playoffs at one point, you know, I think they faced Rotherham and lost. And now they're relegated with like 25 points. It's mad. Villa, I'm not going to lie, this might surprise you guys. I think that was an awful season. And I'm not being biased either. I think the players that they signed, the money that they spent, the manager, like I said, they appointed in Gerrard, like I said, a lot of hope as a manager, you know, and I just don't think it's really clicked. Like I said, they haven't won in like 8 games now. Like I said, they're not going to be relegated. Like I said, there is talk about them potentially. They're not going to go down. But they're like 16th at the moment. Not good enough for like a club which have signed so many good players, and it just hasn't clicked. I don't understand why. Reading, I think Reading have had a good season. Like I said, I think a club which, like I said, I'm gonna put them in decent. A club which I think had points deductions, ownership issues, transfer embargoes. Just the only excuse for Pano, I feel like the former manager, like I said, Panovic, I think that his name was, who left after the 3-2 win against Preston. A great result for them to now be back up, you know, in the stay up in the Championship. I think they've done really well. To turn things around now, honestly, like I said, I feel like to stay up now after a 6-point deduction, great achievement. Rotherham, yeah. Well, actually, no, I feel like they've just been good, despite pretty much set for promotion back to the Championship. Well, not even that. They're equal on points with MK Dons in second. They done so well to start the season. Now they're massively slipping up. Harrogate, decent. Salford, few points out the playoffs, decent. Sheffield United, they've had a good season. Like I said, they've done really... I'm surprised how poor they've done on the Slavisa to begin with, but I think they have massively turned it around. Like I said, I'm happy to see that. Sheffield Wednesday, a good season. 3 points in the playoffs now. Looks set for the League 1 playoffs. Shrewsbury, meh. Just like an underwhelming season, 15th. Southampton, I think they've had a decent season. I think they've had a decent season. Southampton, you know, like as they picked up a few good results this season, winning 1-0 against Arsenal, but then losing 6-0 to Chelsea, the Southampton way. Spurs, I think if Spurs would have kept Conte till the start of the season, I think they would have done well. But Club's competing back for the top 4, nice to see. I'm going to put them in good because they have had a good season. Stoke, decent. Like I said, they didn't really pour, and then after when their playoff hopes looked pretty much, like I said, dampened on, they go on an amazing run now. Like I said, up to I think they're like 9th in the league now. I think they're like 10th in the league, 61 points, not too bad, and it's good to see them doing well. Sunderland, no difficult one to predict. I think they've done very good. No, I think they're, very good under Alex Neil. Definitely starting to pick up points, scoring a lot of last-minute goals as well. I reckon they'll get promoted. Sutton United have had a incredible season in my opinion. Like I said, I think they are like 6th, 7th. Like I said, in around them playoff positions, incredible. It's amazing to see how well they're doing. Swansea, meh. I think for the players that they got, they're scoring a load. Jean-Pierre's been incredible at scoring a load, just conceding far too many. Tranmere Rovers, okay. Warsaw, okay as well. Like I said, I expected Tranmere to be in and around their playoffs. Warsaw, expected to be in and around where they are. Watford, no. Just no. I thought they were going to do so much better. They should have kept Munoz. They really should have. I reckon if they kept Munoz, unpopular opinion, they would have stayed up. They beat Leeds, and like I said, they beat Leeds, picked up some other good results. It's really surprising. West Brom, you know what? Awful. They've had an awful season. And West Midlands clubs haven't had good seasons. You know, like I said, Birmingham. I think West Brom. Actually, no. I'm gonna put them in awful. I think for the players that they've got, for a club which now competing like 11th, 12th, not good enough. They should be in the top 2. They started off really well and now have just completely crumbled. They've had an awful season. I'm sorry to say it, but they have. West Ham, I think they've had a very good season. Underdogs. No, very good. Right, Wigan Wanderers, I think they've had an incredible season. Look set to win the league title. I feel like for the financial issues, they've come in a manager which, let's say, isn't the biggest of names. He's done really incredible. Next one is Wolves. They've had a very good season. You know, Wolverhampton Wanderers, you know, looking set for Europa League / Conference League, depending on how the last few games go. Wycombe Wanderers, no club which I think just bouncing around the playoffs, keep going in and out. They've done alright. So there we go, Bill. That is it for ranking all the English clubs. Do let me know if I forget any. Honestly, thank you all so much for watching this. If you guys have enjoyed it, please do make sure to drop a like on it. That would mean the world. Thank you all for watching. Speak to you soon. See you all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.